What is going on YouTube? Today we have a really cool video because we're going to be talking about the rise of fighting games. Now yes, fighting games have always had some big title releases dating back to the 90s, but it felt like for years fighting games fell out of favor and become really hit or miss. Street Fighter V was a good example. I mean, it was exclusive to PlayStation, so the mass appeal of the franchise had dipped really badly, and overall it just seemed like it wasn't as strong an entry as some of the previous titles. Lack of day one content including characters, and the story seemed a bit shallow. Servers were not good, like really broken on release day, and some people were kind of over the cartoony graphics that made it seem more like Looney Tunes and less like a fighting game. Tekken 7 was a game that had some fans of the franchise a little let down. The rage mechanic was not too popular. Once more like Street Fighter, the servers could not be trusted, and also it had a story that was shallow. Not to mention the performance was kind of a letdown. At the very least, people wanted updated graphics, but to be fair, this was on the Xbox One PS4 consoles, so I'm not sure how good the graphics could have gotten with that hardware. The point is, fighting games felt like hit or miss for a while. Street Fighter V was not great, and Jump Force was the letdown of a lifetime, although I am happy that I got to use Yusuke Urameshi. But Injustice 1 and 2 were amazing. My Hero 1's Justice was terrible, but Dragon Ball FighterZ was incredible. That is the point of what fighting games had become for so many years, hit or miss. Today though, we've seen the announcement of many good fighting games that have a lot of promise. Street Fighter 6 is releasing next week, and it's going to be a hot summer for fighting games because we've also seen some gameplay of Tekken 8. Mortal Kombat 1 got a soft reboot with its Mortal Kombat 1 trailer that looks just amazing, and they even announced a new Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi game, which was so far out of left field I almost passed out hearing the franchise was back. They may as well announce another Soul Calibur game while they're at it. I mean, complete the process. Or what about Killer Instinct, huh? Microsoft, what do you think? It just feels like slowly we're seeing this genre come back to life, and I don't mean to speak in Evanescence terms, but yeah, we need it to come back to life because the gaming industry has been desperately trying to fight off this battle royale craze that took over the world when Fortnite became the mainstream game. But anyways, back to these fighting games. It's a new generation out there. There are kids out there that have never played the OG Budokai games. They never saw peak Mortal Kombat, and they never played the glory of Street Fighter 2. This is the perfect time to release all of these games and rebuild the franchises that were once a staple in gaming. Now let's quickly talk about each of the releases we've seen so far. Mortal Kombat 1 looks so good, it trended #1 on Twitter for 2 days. The reset in a different universe, the crazy ways to finish people off, the sheer amount of gore sent Mortal Kombat fans into a frenzy. Not to mention the graphics were movie-like, and they even are working on a second movie, which is great because I loved the first one and it was hilarious. Overall, Mortal Kombat 1 being a soft reboot seems like it was a good idea, and we can expect this title coming out September 19th later this year. Mortal Kombat is probably going to end up breaking records too for fighting games, as if I had to pick any title from any fighting game that would sell the most and that is the most popular, it's probably Mortal Kombat. These games have been popular since the arcade days back in the 80s. Street Fighter 6 is almost out of the gate, and we've seen so many game previews, gameplay trials, the demo. I mean, we pretty much know what to expect. The graphics have gotten reworked to be a little bit less cartoony and more like the older games, just updated out of pixel hell. Not that I didn't love pixel graphics, but the story also seems great too. You can create your own Street Fighter, fight any person, even a random guy on the street. Both modern and classic controls are in the game, and it seems like they have learned from the server hell that was Street Fighter V. Not to mention this game will be on all platforms, so that's pretty nice. June 2nd, like I said, is next week, and this game will kick off the Summer Games Fest as well. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi we have no idea about. We can assume that Dragon Ball Super storyline is in it, although we don't know if it will be based off the manga or the anime, because the anime stopped at the Tournament of Power and the manga is still ongoing. We can also assume this game will not be at the Summer Games Fest, with maybe a trailer, because I believe Bandai is not at Summer Games Fest this year, which is kind of a letdown. I will say, this game and franchise was once pumping out games left and right. Budokai 1, 2, and 3, Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3, and then Budokai Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3. This is some of the best fighting games of all time, and I believe the success of Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to help them out a lot. So whenever we do hear more about this franchise, hopefully this summer, it's safe to say the franchise is in good hands. Tekken 8, we also have no word on release date, but this game is probably holiday 2023 or early 2024 if I had to shoot a guess. The gameplay we've seen looks good enough, the graphics look like the best out of all the Tekken games I've seen so far, and to be honest with you, the combos look pretty good. All we're waiting for is some more information from Bandai and, to be honest, a release date, because this game looks like it's much further along than, let's say, Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi. Overall, we can expect probably 3 fighting games this year, unless Budokai Tenkaichi does release this year, which would be a major surprise, and then that would be 4 major fighting games in 2023. Fans on social social media are excited, and it really does seems like maybe this is a new golden age on the horizon. Mortal Kombat 1, like I said, is gonna sell numbers. It's the most popular fighting game out there. Everybody knows about Mortal Kombat. But Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and the Budokai series are gonna be big hits in their own right. All of those games just have to launch smoothly because there is an appetite for fighting games. I can see it on social media. My personal love for fighting games dates all the way back to when I was a kid playing Street Fighter 2, Budokai 3, and even games like Fight Night Round 2. I can admit, fighting games are not for everyone, but it seems like this genre is gonna get its moment in the sun, and I love that. I think this trend of reviving big genres and titles, I hope it keeps going. I would not hate seeing platformers get a love in the sun as well. I would not hate seeing platformers get a big win too, like Super Mario Odyssey 2, Sonic Frontiers 2, a new Crash or Spyro game, and a long-awaited Banjo-Kazooie announcement. But for now, we have some exciting releases to look at. Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6, Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi, and Tekken 8 are just some of the games that we can expect to release in the fighting game genre, and there could be more. I mean, like I said, Mortal Kombat is just rebooting so that it can go back another 20 years of Mortal Kombat games. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi is going to be the revival of one of the best franchises of all time, and you have to assume that it's going to make money because of how popular Dragon Ball is, which leads to more sequels. And of course, Tekken 8 is a fan favorite franchise, and it's a staple in the fighting game genre, so Tekken 8 is going to be just the first of many more Tekken games, we hope. Anyway, this is more like the re-rise of fighting games rather than the rise of fighting games. But to be honest with you, I don't know that we've ever had fighting games all release in this type of a time frame. I mean, we're about to get at least 4 fighting games in the next 5 years that are going to be really high quality games coming from massive franchises. Seriously, all it takes is another announce of, Soul Calibur or even a Killer Instinct, and we're gonna be like fully back. But anyway, what do you think about the resurgence of fighting games? Do you enjoy playing fighting games? Is it something you're willing to try? Let me know in the comment section down below, and tell me which fighting game you are looking forward to the most. If I had to venture a guess, to be honest with you, about which one I'm looking forward to the most, it's tough because I love Mortal Kombat. I really do. But Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi was just, if you had told me that was releasing, or that we'd even get a teaser trailer, I would have laughed at you. That was the game that I fell in love with on the PlayStation 2 so easily, probably the fastest. Those games were so amazing. Just playing through the story of Dragon Ball, beating Raditz again, using Gohan Super Saiyan 2, Kid Buu, even some of the GT stuff with Super Saiyan 4. I mean, seriously, those games for those times were way ahead of its day. But anyway, that's the game I'm looking forward to the most. Thank you for checking out this video. I will have some more content soon. The Xbox Summer Games Fest is kicking off soon, along with Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest, so it's going to be great. I'm going to have a ton of videos covering all of the good stuff, so I will be back with some more content soon. But thank you for checking out this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.